Hello guys, how's it going? AlexTheGrumpyOne here, hope you're well. Today we got a video on the Scirocco, and again this is going to be on 2-litre TDI, and this is going to be the same not only on the Scirocco, it's going to be the same on Audis, A3s and most of the VAT group cars that are 2-litre TDI or 1.9 TDI. So what we're going to be doing today is replacing the fuel filter, which is located down here. I'm going to show you now, and I'm going to show you how to do it, obviously the way I usually do them as well, how to bleed the system and what tools you're going to need to do this, and also explain you why you should replace your fuel filter and when you should do it. So this is where your fuel filter is usually located on 1.9 and 2-litre TDI. It's held by 5 Torx screws in there, and you need to be careful and get some blue roll around there so you don't spill the fuel everywhere. So this is the part number for my fuel filter, but this is, again, it's important to make sure you got your reg number and the VIN number or engine code to make sure you got the right fuel filter, because they do 3 or 4 different types of fuel filters. So I would definitely recommend checking that first to make sure you're going to have the right one once you open it, so you don't have to go again to the parts to swap the filter. So tools they're going to need for this job is pretty simple. You need a flat blade screwdriver or similar tool, little ratchet and extension with the Torx 20 adapter on it. So I got my tools from Draper Tools here. It's nice and easy job, guys. Just pay attention to all the instructions and you'll be fine. Right, so I usually replace the fuel filter every 20,000 miles or 2 years on a full service. Obviously when you buy a car, replace it straight away anyway to make sure it's nice and clean there. When you're doing it, you also check for any rubbish in there. And the reason to replace the fuel filter, obviously you need the fuel and air for your engine to create perfect combustion, and you need to make sure there's enough fuel that's going to get into the system without any blockages or any rubbish in there as well. And sometimes you get a misfire. It can be as simple as just a dirty fuel filter, so you need to make sure that the flow is perfect there. It also improves your fuel economy, obviously not every time, because in some cases your fuel filter might not be as dirty as they get, but when they're dirty it does affect your fuel economy. That's why it is important to make sure that you replace it on time, and always make sure that you use the best product possible. I will put the link in the description below for the men filter, the ones I usually use. There's quite a few other brands that you can use that are good as well, but like I said, please make sure that you got the right bit for the job. So what I usually like to do is use a bit of blue roll to go around the filter housing there, and make sure you don't spill any diesel anywhere else, because it will leak a little bit. And I also got a bucket here that we're going to put the oil fuel filter in so we don't spill it everywhere. And like I said, the Torx 20, so I'm using my Draper tools again, so just undo them all 5. This stage, like I say, is really important that the ignition is not on. I usually turn the car off, let it stand for a while to make sure that there's no pressure in the fuel system. So let's just put the screw somewhere safe. And now all we need is a screwdriver, and lift it up slightly. You got a cut out there, so work your way around, don't just force it, because there is an O-ring that holds it in there tight. As you can see, it's already spilling out a little bit of fuel. Just lift it up slowly, nice and even, don't damage anything, don't force it too much, and there you go, it's already lifted up. I'm gonna put that there, and nice and even. The filter is usually attached to it on the seal there. Just grab it there, make sure you're using the gloves as well, because you can have irritation of your skin if you're not. I know some people say, yeah, never use my gloves, but this is just the health and safety stuff, guys. I do need to mention that you need to use the gloves while you're doing this, because you don't want fuel on your skin. Just let it come out a little bit there. Drain as much fuel as you can in the fuel housing. There we are. Get rid of the old one, and before you get rid of it, we need to make sure that the new filter is the same as the old one. Right guys, so just to have a look, obviously this is the part number that I got for this engine. You can see there, I will put in the description below anyway, but have a look. You should have a fuel filter which is exactly the same as that one, that's good, and you should also have a new O-ring they're gonna need to put around the top there. They're going to show you in a second how to replace it. I usually put a bit of engine oil around it, or a bit of diesel will do as well, because it's oily anyway. So there you go, that's the new filter. If you have a look, That's the old one, and they're exactly the same size. So that's all good. As you can see, that one is not too bad. I've seen a lot worse, to be honest, but still it needs replacing. Right, so the O-ring that I was telling you about, you got the new one there. Put a bit of oil around it, or diesel, and the old one is on here. So make sure you take it off, use a screwdriver or something. Get it off of there, and fit the new one on. Make sure it's nice and even on there, because you don't want the fuel to come out afterwards when it pressurizes. So that's on there, that's good. And you'll feel it sealing once we're going to push it down there. The other thing I do while this is off is look down there with the light and see if there's any bits of metal in there or any rubbish as well, to double check that. Sometimes you can have quite a bit of metal bits, tiny little metal bits, and that will mean that your fuel pump is starting to give up a little bit. So hopefully you haven't got any metal bits in there. That looks very clean, so that's good. I can see it with the sunlight. That is very good. What we're going to do now is just clean around there, make sure there's nothing on the part where you're going to seal. Clean the inside as well. That's all nice and clean as well. And we can fit the new fuel filter, but before I do that, I just want to mention something to you. Right guys, so when I do the fuel filters on the diesel especially, I usually use some treatment either for the injectors or for DPF that you have to add to the fuel system. So we can use this one, for instance. It does say to put it in a tank, but sometimes this has been done many times and it doesn't cause any damage. You can add a little bit in there just to avoid the air in the system, just to make sure that the fuel filter is going to be fully submerged in the fuel, so it doesn't get any air in the system, and then the engine will cut out and then you have to bleed the system. It does help. Or even if you got some diesel, just fill up a little bit more to kind of put up the fuel that you lost when you remove the oil filter. It just helps. On some cars, depending on the year of your VAG group car, you can have a setting on a diagnostic tool to activate and prime the pump that will run the fuel all inside the pipes to make sure you get rid of the air before you start the car, which is recommended on the newer cars. I'm pretty sure it's from 2012 or 2014 onwards. That sometimes you can get air in there and the car will not start at all, so please make sure you check that as well. But usually all the diagnostic tools with advanced features will do that. So that's just a tip for you guys. But I'm pretty sure on this one we'll be alright. I'll put a little bit in there and I'll put the rest in the fuel tank, and it also in the same time will help me cleaning the injectors. Right, so now we've got the O-ring on there. I've topped it up with a little bit of additive or the fuel, whatever you got. And now what I'm going to do is locate the filter in there. And then what we're going to do, just push in slowly, don't squeeze it too quick because it will make the diesel come out of there. So just put it in there, and then what you do is hold the filter a little bit and try and locate that bit in the middle. So just squeeze it in. There you go. Let's sit it in there properly now. Let it down very slowly, please. You got a cutout on this end that needs to locate in first. And this is where you're going to have to push down on it nice and even. You will need quite a bit of pressing because, like I said, you got the O-ring on there. So just press it on there evenly. It will go. Just make sure you're obviously locating the holes in the right place as well. There you go, that side is gone. Lovely. It's nice and flat. What you do now is start up all of your screws. And do them up. Don't do one at a time. Do them up all evenly. Do them up by hand first. Lovely. That's nice and even. We can take that off. As you can see, guys, I haven't spilled any diesel, which is really good, and it will help to check for the leaks after we started the car. So do them up first. So once the job is done, guys, like I say, it's important to make sure you've done it up properly and there's no gaps anyway, so you don't lose diesel or it doesn't start leaking when you're driving. So like I mentioned before, obviously on some models you might get a little bit of air and you might need diagnostic tool, but in my cases I've done 15 plates, 16 plates and 17 plates. I never had to do it, to be honest, but I know there is a function that you can bleed the system without starting the car. What I've seen and what I've done previously anyway is I usually, when I've done this, I do top it up with fuel like you've seen, with additive or just normal diesel in there to avoid air getting the system. What I do is usually turn the ignition on till all the lights come on and leave it for 10 seconds, and I do that 6 times, and in some cases it does help. It brings a little bit of fuel into the system as the primary pump kicks in and it runs the air through the system. And then when I start the car on the 6th time, I do accelerate a little bit to help circulate the fuel a bit quicker to get rid of the air that you might have in there. But like I said, in case that doesn't work, guys, you will need diagnostic tool and special function to bleed the system by activating the pump to circulate the whole system. But like I said, in my cases I never had to do it. I know there is a function for it, but luckily I never had to do that. So let's see that. I'm going to turn the ignition on 6 times and see how we get on with this. Right guys, so like I said, the ignition on 6 times, all the lights came on, leave for 10 seconds. Sometimes you can actually hear the pump activating, but like I said, not all the cars do this. Off. And obviously do this 6 times. Right, so let's start it up. Lovely, that is good. So just leave it running, check for any fuel leaks. Like I said, leave it running. My engine was warm already, so it's good. Didn't mind accelerating straight away. So leave it running, accelerate again. Make sure you check for any fuel leaks around there. Go for a drive and double check again for any fuel leaks there. Right, so here we are, that's that job done. Please make sure it's not leaking like I mentioned earlier. Go for a drive, double check for any leaks. You'll see if it's leaking, there will be diesel all over the place pretty much. So yeah, make sure you're safe, make sure you dispose of the old filter correctly as well, please guys. And like I said, do everything up. All the info and the links and everything else is in the description below. Do double check it guys, and that fuel treatment does help really well. And like I said, MAN filters are pretty good filters. I've been using them for ages. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful. That's another bit of your service done today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.